Hello and welcome to Gareth Evans Gaming. My name is Mike Williams. With me today is Mr. Gareth Evans.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking about our thoughts after playing the Battlefield 1 beta, which kind of released last week. This is kind of our first impressions and also kind of a review of the beta package as a whole, I guess. So we've both played a fair few hours of it by now. You've been playing it on PC, Gareth?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It is one of the first times that I've been able to play my favourite genre in games, which is like World War One, World War Two, first-person shooter, which is basically what I grew up playing. COD. I spent so many years playing those types of games, and to be able to taste that same feeling that I had all those years ago again in Battlefield 1, it's just absolutely amazing. I am loving it.
Yeah, they've gone really modern. Like they've gone for the modern setting over the last kind of 6-7 years, haven't they? Like really heavy on it. So it is really refreshing in a weird way to go back to that kind of Second World War, even though this is First World War. It
is refreshing to just have that bolt action rifle again.
Yeah,
it's just so aesthetically pleasing. But we'll probably get onto that in a short while. But yeah, as a general overview, yeah, it's delicious.
That's a great word for it. Yeah, it's a tasty beta. It's so Gareth's been playing on PC. I've been playing on PS4. So we've got a good picture overall of how it's kind of shaping up on console and PC, and my feelings for it are really positive so far. I mean, just between the gameplay, the overall presentation of it, I've really enjoyed it. So kind of mechanically for you, the basics, the shooting, the moment-to-moment gameplay of it, how have you found it so far?
Yeah, very satisfying, like I mentioned earlier. I love the way, just how smooth it is, like running around like the little buildings that are on the map.
Yeah.
Crashing through the doors. Oh wow, it's just brilliant. Like you can just run through the whole little village area, just crashing through doors, shooting people. It feels so smooth. It feels the gameplay is just very satisfying.
Yeah, the whole presentation, the whole package is smooth. Smooth is a good word for it. Like when you die and you kind of respawn, there's no cuts, there's no fade to black. It just zooms out of the map, and you choose your class and it zooms back in. It's really slick, the overall presentation of it. The shooting, I find, is really like. I thought I was a bit worried because it's the First World War. I thought maybe the weapons how would they make it work, because they didn't have that many assault rifles and machine guns, all that was still new.
Yeah,
but they've definitely made it work. It definitely is an just that basic kind of shooting that you need from a good multiplayer shooter is solid. It's really good.
So one of the other aspects that I really love is how you get that instant feedback from your bullets. It tells exactly how much damage you've done to your enemies.
Yeah.
Like you get a good rifle shot, you get 80 damage. You know that they've got 100 in their health, so you can see if you've killed them or not. And one of the things that puts me off first-person shooter games is sometimes you need 4 or 5 bullets to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like in the cards, it's like in this, it feels a bit more hardcore. Like it's like you do get the gratification from getting a good shot off. That hardcore aspect of it, I do enjoy. I would appreciate though if I get a good chest shot in, if I'm a sniper, that it kills them instantly.
Yeah.
Because nobody's getting up from that.
And there's plenty of variety in it as well. The kind of assault class, that feels totally different to the sniper class.
Yeah.
That feels totally different to when you're playing as a kind of tank driver. There's if you can tailor your experience the way you want it, really. If you want to be a vehicle driver, you can.
It's very customizable. I do like each different class. You do have to play a certain way to get the most out of each class, which is what I like. You can customize each class. You tinker with the weapons, tinker with the loadouts. Maybe that's a general how Battlefield works in general. I haven't got a lot of experience, but I do like it. If you feel like you want to run and gun, you go assault. If you feel like you want to sit back and chill for a while, you go sniper. And then the medic, again, great class, great weapon.
Yeah.
And the support is not my favorite class. It's just a bit slow for my liking, and a bit heavy. But again, it depends on your playing style. You will find a decent loadout or decent class for your playing style or playing styles even. So if you fancy, you can dip in and out.
Yeah, that's the lovely thing about Battlefield is that it depends. You play it the way you want to play it. It's not like Call of Duty how you got to rush around. You've got to be on the attack all the time. If that, the support class, the sniper class, the medic class, they have their own styles, and you don't have to go out looking for kills all the time. You can sit back. You can support your teammates. You can heal them. You can give them ammo. You can set traps for tanks and stuff. You can set the landmines and stuff. And you get points for pretty much everything you do in Battlefield. Like even if it's just shooting at enemies, you still get points for like suppression assist. So
that is awesome.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about it. And you don't have to be a kind of amazing with a sniper rifle to enjoy the game and get satisfaction out of it. You feel like you're contributing.
Yeah, you can get to the top of the leaderboard just on score without getting even a positive kill death ratio, which is something you don't have to go all out trying to kill. You don't have to be the best shooter. You can think about it in terms of your team and your squad and helping people out, helping objectives, and achieving for the greater good gets you up the scoreboard. So that aspect of it, again, unique to Battlefield, I think, and it's a welcome change to COD and them types of games.
Yeah, and what they've done with the setting as well is they've been really clever with the way they've encouraged certain play styles. So like the sniping has always been a problem in Battlefield, but now they've kind of give snipers points for counter sniping. So if you're playing as a sniper and you shoot another sniper, you get like bonus points for doing that.
Yeah.
So what that does is encourages snipers to shoot other snipers as opposed to just preying on little assault classes running around the map. So they've been really smart with how they've tinkered with the setting, because there probably would have been a lot of snipers and sniping done in the First World War. That's the way the war was fought. So they've been smart the way they've encouraged that. Yeah,
one other point on that too is that I don't know if they use that in the other Battlefield games, but like the sights shine. If there's a sniper, you can see the glimmer of the sights.
Yeah, so it's just an indication.
It gives you a little bit more of an edge over the snipers because they can be so powerful and overpower you. If they're in a good position, it can't be seen.
And that is the problem with them. Like the map kind of. If you get up to a good position as a sniper, you can stay there and you can dominate. But so they, like I said, they have been kind of smart in the way they've encouraged that kind of counter sniping behavior, because you can still be a sniper and enjoy it, but it's not hampering the experience for everybody else. So that's they've been clever with that. Also the vehicles as well. Everyone gets a shot at driving a tank, riding a horse. Everyone has an opportunity to do that, and that's a lot of fun. The horses, how have you found the horses?
They're tricky. The one thing I would say is that it feels a bit weird going from first person to third person when you get on a horse and you're running around. It's like, is that me? I was like first person a second ago. I've had a couple of those moments. So like, that's actually me. That's not somebody else got on my horse. And then, but I do like it. The rifle you get when you're riding a horse, very satisfying. It's beautiful, and you even get to use the sword with it too. If you're good enough at doing that, you get kills for like riding over people if they're like cowering down in a bomb hole or whatever. You just run over them and trample them. Awesome. I do like that aspect of it, but I do think they should give a first person option for riding a horse.
Yeah, well this I agree with that. I think first person would be good. It would certainly help with trying to shoot from the back of a horse. I think that definitely help. But the one thing I was worried about, like with the actual weapons themselves, before I started playing, I thought, how are they going to make horses like a viable thing when everybody's got guns? Everyone's got guns and bombs. How are they going to, but they made it work. Like the horses, they do take a bit of damage before they go down. They can take a bit of punishment.
Yeah, I think where they're good at is the speed and maneuverability. That's what they've got over the other types of vehicles. Yeah. So although they're not armored at all and they're very exposed, you can get away from like a bomb and run from a attack plane, and things just because you're fast and you're maneuverable and you can run rings on tanks basically.
Yeah, so. And if you wanted to get into a good position, like you can run along, the kind of the flank of an objective, and get to a good position and come in from behind or something. They are good for that kind of thing. So there is definitely room for horses in.
Oh, for sure.
in the multiplayer. And another thing as well, the kind of the lack of modern weaponry, the lack of like, you know, in the old Battlefield games, like all the rifles had like underslung kind of grenade launchers.
Yeah.
So like all the buildings would just get wrecked in the first like 2 minutes, and you know that doesn't happen. The buildings stay up for a lot until a tank comes rolling in and drives through it or blows a hole in the side of it.
Yeah.
Things survive. The destruction is great, but it's not complete obliteration until, you know, the kind of the end of the game, which is so that's really a good change from the modern Battlefield games.
Or you get somebody who's really good at using a bomber, and he just you can actually fly one of those planes because they're so hard. But yeah, if you get a good bomb, I've had that a couple of times where it's someone just completely owning the map and owning the objectives because he's so good at bombing and just keeping the objectives clear of enemies.
Yeah,
so,
they've kind of specialised in that, and they've put some practice in, and they're amazing at it. Yeah, that can kind of be a problem. Maybe it needs a bit of balancing or something. I don't know. That's also an issue in the modern setting Battlefield games. You know, if you get helicopter pilots who can just hover around and they know how to survive in a helicopter for a long time, and it can ruin the game. So I don't know. Maybe.
But that's the thing with Battlefield, isn't it? If you get someone who's really good at flying planes, then you need someone who's really good at
shooting them down.
Yeah, and it's just like I heard it referred to as the rock paper scissors effect on Battlefield.
Absolutely. Yeah,
where like you need the counter element to counter what the other team is strong at, and vice versa.
Yeah, so definitely that's probably the best way to balance it. But if they found a way of encouraging that kind of anti-air gameplay, I didn't spend much time shooting airplanes when I was in the beta. And
maybe that is a good point, that the airplanes may be slightly overpowered.
Yeah, possibly
at the moment. Maybe need balancing.
Or like you said, maybe just encouraging the ground players to attack the airplanes some way. So
the tanks are hard to shoot, though. You can't shoot airplanes. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
You've got to be well trained.
Yeah. And just in terms of the look of the game, the presentation, the graphics, how did you find it? I mean, the last Battlefield game you played was 1942, was it?
Yes.
So how does this compare to that, and how did you find the graphics?
It's just I don't really sit there in awe of graphics a lot. I usually, the moment where I consider graphics is where it detracts from my gameplay, and so the fact that I've not considered the graphics in any way, it feels so immersive, and reflecting on it, the graphics are awesome. I play on ultra settings at home on my PC, and I've not been distracted or anything by the graphics. It's like I said, I don't sit there admiring graphics. I like it. I'm a old school gamer. Where I just like the gameplay,
the mechanics. Well, I think the presentation is what the overall look of the game is why it is so immersive. It's like choosing when you sign up for a squad or whatever at the beginning of the game, you see like a row of soldiers, like your squad mates and stuff. That's great. That's a really good screen to look at before you go into the actual gameplay. And like I said earlier, they're just kind of zooming up from the map and zooming back in when you respawn and stuff. It's also well designed, and it looks so nice.
Yeah.
Even it's in beta, so it's not out for another month. So I'm sure they'll put a bit more polish on it before it comes out.
There were a couple of bugs that I saw. Like I shoot someone a couple of times and they just disappear as soon as I shot them. And also there was one bug where I was throwing grenades.
Right.
And the grenade I threw the grenade. The grenade didn't throw. I changed weapon to my landmines, and the grenade was still in my hand. I tried to put the landmine down, ended up throwing the grenade on myself and blowing myself up, which was fun.
And the sound as well, I think, is incredible. I was playing it through headphones for a lot of the time, and the sound of like the rifles and the tanks and artillery, it just sounds. It sounds like First World War machinery, as opposed. It doesn't sound like they've taken the modern, explosions and gunfire and kind of played with it. It sounds like they've really put work and effort into making it sound authentic, and that definitely adds a lot to it. Like when you fire your rifle, you know that you've fired your rifle. It's really loud and
I do like. That's probably why I do like the genre. Is that aesthetic? That's absolutely wonderful. And what I did notice, like the on the sound side of things, is where you running up the map. There's no music. There's all you can hear is the gunfire in the distance and around you, and like your squad mates saying random things.
Yeah.
Like they're over there or something, and you can hear exactly where that's being said from. It's like this. It does sound so immersive.
It puts you in it, doesn't it? They've always been really good at that. DICE. All the Battlefield games sound great, you know. And when you shoot your gun outside, it sounds completely different to when you shoot your gun inside a building. There's echo, and they're really clever with the way they just play with the sound a little bit, and they've always been really good at that. What about the kind of setting, the World War I setting? How did you feel about that? Do you think it was okay to have a World War I game now? Do you think that's I think when they announced it was going to be World War I, some people were a little bit, I'm not sure.
Well, that is the thing, isn't it? Because World War I, like you said, the technology wasn't as advanced as it is these days. You get a limited amount of guns, you got limited vehicles of what they used. If they're going to be historically accurate, you've got a limited selection. But I think they've been very clever about the way they've done it. It's not like just a map with loads of trenches, like say Verdun is, or games like that. You've got a huge map, you've got different areas, you have got a different amount of guns, and that it doesn't feel limited to the technology and the time and the era. It feels like they've done a great job fleshing out all the different variants of vehicles and things like that. So I think they've done really well, and I just love it. I absolutely adore it.
They've put features in there, and like you said, like the maps. It's not just trenches. There's like there's buildings. There's kind of there's, at least in the map that you get in the beta anyway. There's kind of really big rocky kind of structures like cliffs and things like that. That just there's features in the map that make it interesting, and it is like we were saying earlier, it is really refreshing. The overall setting and everything is very different to what we've been used to in the last few years. Anyway, it's not sci-fi. It's not modern. It's totally different.
Yeah, and you get like variables like the weather, the sandstorms rolling in, and it can hamper you for a while. I mean, we've had discussion this in the office whether that's not good or not, because at one point I was trying to snipe from like an elevated position, and then a sandstorm rolled in and like hampered me for like 5 minutes. I just sat there on the top of the mountain for like 5 minutes waiting for the sandstorm, so it wasn't so great at that moment. But
well, I was the guy at the bottom of the mountain running away from the sniper because the sandstorm was letting me do that. So it's
pros and cons.
And another thing about the setting as well, it's quite, in a weird way, it's quite kind of sweet, I guess. It's like the objectives are like, objective butter instead of like objective bravo, or there's like an innocence to it almost that is really nice, and it's
that British innocence.
Yeah, it is. It's that positivity about everything. It's like that. Everything's going to be okay. It's much better than kind of Alpha. We've lost Alpha. It's not as grim or as severe as kind of the modern setting, which is really good. Okay, that's it from us. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and do stick around for more Battlefield 1 videos.
We are losing objective Charlie.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Take him down. Take him out. Beautiful. I love it.